Okay, so quite a game, wasn't it, as we just mentioned, at the City Ground. Our reporter Daniel Khan is there for us. Let's check in with him now because, Dan, we understand Sean Dyche has had plenty to say in the post-match news conference of what was said. Do explain.
Yeah, good evening, Vicky. Good evening, Jay. I mean, interesting to hear from Sean Dyche after that game. I mean, let's start on the positive as well, that Nottingham Forest have collected their first point in the Premier League since September 20th, and overall he's quite happy with the performance. Maybe two sides of Forest we saw. First half, they looked really good attacking-wise. Second half, they perhaps a bit more defensive, but really dominated long periods of the game. But I just spoke to Sean Dyche actually in the news conference, and that the game was marred by a little bit of controversy ahead of United's first goal, headed in by Casemiro from a corner that Sean Dyche and everyone connected with Nottingham Forest, I don't believe should have been a corner because the ball didn't seem to have gone out, but the linesman on the other side of the pitch did give it as a corner, and as we know, of course, VAR can intervene in that sort of scenario. So, of course, Sean Dyche actually said to me that he was waiting for an obvious question in his news conference, and he had an incredible answer and real issue in terms of having two controversial decisions the last 2 weeks in terms of refereeing decisions. Guessing you want to know or you want to be asked about United's first? Well, I'm surprised if that wasn't one of your first questions. You can ask what you want, but I'll be very surprised if that wasn't on the end of the third me up first. But yes, well, the thing is that, 2 weeks on the trot, which is bizarre in itself, similar but different. Obviously, the last one was a clear mistake, which I got booked for. I must agree with that. How on earth I get booked for an actual mistake proven is bizarre. And then today I just can't understand it. You're an assistant referee, you're 70 odd yards away, you've got a goal and a net in the way, but apparently you can see I've got a better view and I'm not in the right position. So that's got to be wrong. In the current climate, I think that annoys me the most. A big fan of AR. That's like someone's got to be able to overrule these decisions just really quickly. That will be 5 seconds. You just go, that's in play and he's deemed out of play, and they whack it in. They score a goal 2 weeks on the trot now. Now, of course, you can say, well, you got to deal with the corner, but the point is it shouldn't be that. So that's really difficult. And then to give my reasoning behind it, which I think is more important, because obviously people say, oh yeah, but it's only just over the line. Sorry, just on the line. Well, it's on the line. So imagine a goal scored, with the watch when it beeps or vibrates for the ref. What do? You've seen it. You've all seen it. The psychology of it is like 1 millimeter, and they say, well, it hasn't got over the line. So how can you see that from 78 yards? For me, that's 5 seconds of VAR, and they got, the refs talking to people and all that, waste time walking over the screen. We all know that waste time is pointless, and they go about speeding up the game. But big decisions like that would, for VAR, for something to override that decision, be 5 seconds. They look and go, bang, that's it, done, wrong decision, that's it. So that's really, really frustrating. 2 weeks on the trot. I know it's an unusual step for that to happen. Of course, I'm aware of that. Chances are very slim, but it has happened with all the technology and all that's at stake, particularly for us in Nottingham Forest Football Club after the start the club's had. That's a big moment, and all of a sudden that goes against you, and that's very, very frustrating when it could be really easily cleared up. For me, I think you can sense the frustration, Jay, Vicky, from Sean Dyche. The Manchester United side of things, I spoke to Ruben Amram after the match as well, and actually, despite the draw, I think there's a lot of positives that he's taken from this result. I mean, he actually admitted that his time last season, he doesn't think they would have come away with a point. Actually, they would have lost quite convincingly, and to come back from 2 goals, having conceded 2 in 2 minutes. Ahmad also getting his first goal of the season. I think they'll take the point and look to build away to Tottenham next week and look to end before the international break on a high.